Oh hi, welcome to my second part of the furry drama tier list. So I had the biggest success with the video ever on YouTube, where I talked about different furry dramas and controversies. So our second part was quite expected. And if you did not see the first video and wonder about the rules and how I ranked these people, then consider watching part 1 after watching this video. But before I begin, there is something I want to mention. Ruben Sim. I remove him from the tier list. Here's the thing, I don't want to deal with him. I agree, I should have done more research, but this one is really hard for me. If you guys want to see me genuinely criticize Ruben, just letting you guys know, it is something that requires a lot of time, planning, mental energy, research and concentration to do. Criticizing a huge YouTuber with huge amount of support is not an easy task and a big risk, especially with the size of my channel. It may happen one day, but how things currently look like in my life, it is ain't happening. So instead you guys argue over me putting him on controversial, then I let you guys vote on this poll at my pinned comment where you want to put him and argue against each other instead. And whatever wins, I will just put him there with no comment on my next episode. I know what most of my audience is, so I already kinda know where you guys are going to put him. Anyway, I have talked enough about this, let's get on with the video. GaroShadowScale is quite an interesting individual. He has been losing relevance these days, but for a couple years ago he was a hot topic of furry drama. Anyway, GaroShadowScale is a gaming YouTuber that is more targeted for a younger audience, which you can easily tell by his style and voice.
Next, I gamble for a commandment stone that a spirit salvager. Why does he keep getting big numbers? I get tiny!
He also has a furry version of his gaming channel and other variations of channels. And why this one is interesting for me is that I've seen this guy before, even before his channel became popular. Not that I knew him or we ever talked to each other, just in the way we were in the same public space. And that is because we both obviously like dragons. And I can tell you, he just appeared as an average scaler on the internet, nothing more to it from what I've seen. So when I saw the first drama about him on a thumbnail, a video about him, my first reaction was, oh, I've seen that guy before. And this video sums it up so well, that Gary is a narcissist and tries to create a cult, like literally. Looking at his server rules, you see everything is centered about him, and even a rule about not making friends on his server, and that Gary is the only one that matters. He treats his fans like they are his servants. One example is when a fan wanted to talk with him, he told his fan that he didn't watch his streams enough. And yes, it is even that bad when one of his fans had a birthday, he DM'd them and said to keep this person's birthday away from his server, since it took away the server's attention from Garo. Man, this is such a childish behavior. The world doesn't revolve around you, Garo, and there's even more stuff I will quickly mention. You're not allowed to make any career for yourself on YouTube or get kicked off his server. Ridiculously high Patreon prices. He tried to copyright clap Seal but failed. Good job, YouTube. I will also mention one last thing is that he uploads fetish games on his YouTube channel and even straight up play the adult game Amorous, ironically made by Jesona. The thing is, it is not a big deal when people play these games. I don't want to be that guy like, think of the children! No, if we remove the mature elements on YouTube, it will make this platform so much more boring. We have mature content for a good reason. My channel is not meant for kids, and I don't try to appeal for them either, but there are going to be small kids watching these videos anyway, including my channel, which is something I can't really do anything about. That is YouTube's problem, not mine. But that can't be said the same for Garo, which his content is so obviously appealing for such a young age that is when it becomes a big problem. He tried to make a response that was pointless and did nothing to help his situation, where he tried to deflect like, no, look guys, most of my audience is adults. No, they aren't, Garo. Age statistics on YouTube is one of the most useless statistics on your videos, where people lie the most. If you compare to my video, technically I have a younger audience than Garo. Do you guys find that believable that I have a younger audience than Garo? What these older ages are actually is very young kids using their parents' accounts to watch his videos, and the easiest way to get an idea what age your subscribers are is looking by the comments and checking what kind of people subscribe to you. When I check which people subscribe to my channel, I can make a rough summary that most of you that watch my videos are either teenagers or adults in their 20s. Anyway, to end this with Garo. Garo never apologized for any of these, and he probably never will. He deletes any negative or criticism from his comment section, so Garo goes to bad because of his repeated bad actions, and he will unfortunately get away with it too. His audience is just way too young to understand, and I feel bad for the kids grown up watching this guy. So here we have Hypnotist fucking Sappho. I find this one hilarious because Hypnotist Sappho was an unknown nobody that made hypnotist videos for a very niche community on VRChat, and then in just one day she became one of the most infamous known furries on the internet, and she became the furry version equivalent of Christian. And this rabbit hole started when she made a video called Coming Out About Things, and well, she did indeed come out with things. Sappho, what is that flag you have right there? Oh no.
And I want to clear the air and say that, for the record, I am a zoo. You did not mishear that. I am a zoo. I do not have a thing for humans. I am more attracted to dogs, like German Shepherds.
First thing to mention is that what in the hell did she expect to happen? She also said she wanted to make this video before everything leaked out her being a zoo. So her idea is that instead of eventually letting herself get shot, she instead dropped a nuke on herself which everyone could see. And well, it got even worse. She became cocky and also uploaded this afterwards.
Hypnotist Sappho has joined your lobby.
What Sappho doesn't realize is that she's playing with fire. And oh boy, at this point this rabbit hole begins. The thing is that I will only mention that she dated and also groomed minors, but there's not much I can really say, because there are just so many cases of her supporting zoo stuff and her being in a PDF. And there's a reason why I called her the Christian version of the Furry Fandom, because she's probably the most documented furry on the internet. Yes, probably even more than Kero. People have been obsessing over her every step she takes. I could talk about her for hours, but no, I won't. If you want to know all the insane things she has done, go check it out by yourself. Talking about everything in detail will probably be even longer than everyone else in this video. So instead, I give you a short summary that she is a delusional, mentally ill degenerate that is supporting zoo stuff and repeatedly inappropriate interactions with minors. And yeah, to quickly rate this, she is a zoo and a PDF that is an easy evil tier. Assumingly, lately she has been getting help and treatment, but I really doubt that. And if that's really the case, I really hope she gets the help she needs. And please never come back to the internet. Since we are at it, let's talk about Coyote Lovely. And wow, I cannot believe how someone can fuck up this hard. For those that don't know, Coyote Lovely is another typical drama channel that covers various types of, you know, drama. But I can't believe what he has done. And that is he did one of the dumbest things I have ever heard. That is flirting with Sappho and even straight up getting naughty art with her. How? Why? What the fuck? He claims he did this to get more information from her, and he didn't even succeed with it. So his idea to do this was to use his main alias and not be undercover. But even if he was undercover and succeeded, this was still an unethical thing to do. Coyote, you're not a secret agent in a movie that is infiltrating terrorists planning a big attack. This is the internet. Oh, and overall, this guy has questionable methods, can we say. I respect those that try to dig for information and take a risk digging deep for it, but this is not the way to do it. He goes too bad. Nitrolord is a Roblox content creator and quite a new drama that happened this year. And oh man, the timing with this one couldn't be worse for the Furry Fandom's reputation. Since another drama happened at the same time with the game Phantom Lords, but that is a story of another time. To start with, I don't play Roblox, I don't know much about it, but it is one of those games that is hard to avoid. I do know it is a game that is dominated with kids and have a really passionate fan base, and I think it is fair to say that it is a top 10 most popular games in the world in popularity, like up there with Grand Theft Auto, Minecraft, and Counter-Strike Condition Zero deleted scenes. Hi, so I will quickly mention that Nitrolord now goes by she/her, and in the video I refer Nitro as him, but it is actually she/her now. And this is something I noticed while I was editing the video. I won't re-record my voice just to say the right pronoun, so instead I just want to let you all know it is she/her. But the thing is that, why now, Nitrolord? This is such an awkward situation to do it. For me, this just feels like you're hurting the trans community and making people with a bad agenda weaponize it by doing so. You should have waited until this calmed down. Really bad moment to announce something like that. And I would also like to hear, like, if any people that are trans, what your opinion about this is, since I don't really have the right to speak about this. Anyway, I will continue the video now. But looking at Nitrolord content, he goes through Roblox history and tells it to his viewers, and I have to say, his content is good. It was well made and researched about the topics he spoke about.
This hat had a script put in it that would cause any non-admins wearing it to immediately explode, which ended up causing some interesting problems for catalog try-on games like Robloxian High School later on.
But it is such a shame the path he went. But to begin, it starts with Twitter. Of course, all drama almost always starts with his website. Here on his main Twitter page, he interacted with in his posts. He also reposted tweets from his alt Lobonay, where Nitrolord posted even worse in his content. And he also followed many 18+ accounts with minors hand in hand with his Lobonay account. And it was also connected to his Roblox alt account. The thing is that Nitrolord is allowed to like adult content. That isn't a problem. them. But the thing is, when you connect those accounts so easily accessible to your main profiles, where there are a lot of minors, that is bad, because you can easily expose minors to inappropriate content. And it makes it even worse when your content is about Roblox that has mainly minors. Nitrolord then started to be aware of his errors and started to remove and correct his mistakes. He then made a response video admitting his mistakes. It was not perfect and also missed some points, but the Nitrolord seemed to move on afterwards.
I promise to keep the Nitrolord brand and everything associated with it 100% minor appropriate from now on, no matter how low I think the chances are of minors seeing it. That's really all I have to say on this matter. Thank you very much for watching.
Until he did something bad again a week later, where his girlfriend co-hosted with Nitrolord an all-age furry party and that kinky was allowed. Yes. For real. How can you not learn what happened a week ago, man? So they hosted his party and people noticed this and rightfully called him out for it. Because Nitrolord just put kids together with predators degenerate enough to have kinkies. And he made a response again and oh boy, it was bad. Like trying to twist the words, there were no minors there.
I can promise you without a shadow of a doubt, there were no minors at this party. By all ages, it's really just meant like all adult ages. Because like, I believe there was a 40-year-old at that party.
Sure, there's no evidence if they were minors or not, but even if there was no minors and no kinky, you still put through the risk that minors could have been exposed to this stuff. When you're a Roblox creator that has mainly minors as your audience, you have an even bigger responsibility to separate the naughty content from your audience. And oh boy, it doesn't end there. So it also appeared that Nitrolord is a baby fur that also likes cub art. And yeah, at this point it is a final nail in the coffin. I'm not going to talk much about the baby fur part, but this is a weird and a borderline thing to watch, and it even makes it even worse knowing that you are a Roblox creator for a game that has mainly minors. That is really fucking disturbing. I'm not going to say that Nitrolord is a PDF despite this irresponsible behavior and even liking baby fur art. Yes, even how borderline and disgusting I think this is. That Nitrolord likes this type of art, I don't think it is fair to compare this art to actual PDFs. It is like saying someone draws art of gore and labeling them as actual murderers. I think it is quite ridiculous to compare drawn pictures to real life. But would you be comfortable with someone who likes cub art that mainly has minors as the audience? No, I don't think so. It is a disturbing thought. But to put Nitrolord, he goes to awful. And this is even worse than Garo. It is already bad with Garo with his cult behavior, inappropriate games and etc. Playing inappropriate games is not the biggest deal in the world since it is censored and it is quite easy to watch these games on YouTube accidentally as a kid, and at least it doesn't have direct links to his inappropriate content, has an all-age furry party and likes cub art. Anyway, if there's a small chance Nitrolord is watching this, I will give you my last words to you. Let your channel burn and never come back to Roblox or any games that have many minors like Minecraft 2 as an example. I do not trust you to keep minors safe. You should never interact with minors again, and if you want to go back to content creation, then it is not your Nitrolord channel. Then start a new channel all over again and find something completely else that doesn't involve minors. And for one more good measure, leave the furry fandom and never come back. If you truly care for the furry fandom reputation and want to use the not all furries argument, then do the honorable thing and cut yourself away from it. That is the most respectful thing to do. For many, you are just another bad apple. Manedwolfy. Oh no, this one is just disgusting. Guys, this is an example of don't give people like this attention on the internet. So Manedwolfy, also known as Jan, is a fursuiter that likes specific milk. He likes that milk. A bit too much we can say. Also, don't waste your time visiting his Twitter, just don't. Although, Jan is a guy that basically does NSV content. NSV is quite a common thing you see on the internet. And I don't really care if that's something people want to do on the internet, so long as you do it in the appropriate place. But for me, I just don't get it. And I also personally advise people to not do this stuff with your actual body on the internet, since I think the moment you post stuff like that, you kind of permanently degrade yourself in a way, and losing some respect you can't ever take back. So he has posted many times about his obsession with milk in an appropriate way. You know, it is the typical naughty post you see on the internet, but instead with his obsession. But then he got a really gross idea. He wanted to have 20 people produce milk on a pizza at BLFS, and when he arrived at BLFS, he did exactly that. He made 19 people, including himself, come on a pizza and posted it on Twitter. You know, I have a lot of tolerance that people should be able to do whatever they want, so long as it is not harming anyone and doing it in an appropriate place, and he did do that, but there are lines that cross my tolerance, even though not harmful. This is one of them that I just have to say, like, what are you doing with your life? Seriously, it isn't the fact that only Jan did this, you know, that this is weird thing overall, but it is the fact that 20 people agreed to spank the meat together and produce milk on the pizza and then upload it publicly. Why? Why are you guys doing this? At that point, I want you to ask yourself about your life choices and take a look at yourself in the mirror. How, of all of things you could do in your life, you instead ended up here. What happened? We can also talk about what he did on a bong too, but no, we don't have to do that. It's pretty much the same. Anyway, he uploaded the tweet of the pizza and made many people understandably disgusted. And made it even worse that someone made a tweet that the pizza was in the hallway. And I don't think I need to explain why it's a bad thing to leave the pizza on the hallway. He did make a tweet later which they disposed of the pizza, but it was kinda too late already, and the story gets blurry since we don't really know what happened, but we can confirm at least at one point it was in the hallway, but for how long, not really sure. Anyway, I am done with this guy. I could mention the other stuff like Twitter drama and all, that he defended someone that's supporting a zoo, or calling someone a battle axe, which I did not even know was a racial or sexist slur apparently, but for me it just feels more like he uses his emotions and doesn't think twice before he does or says something. He then tried to apologize for it, which he is not really good at. He then had an idea for milking for cancer, which was raising money for charity. He then backtracked, thankfully, because it is weird, but the charity, funny enough, wasn't even aware he was doing it. Although, to rank this, I put him on absurd. If it was only the pizza thing and his milk obsession, it would be why, but the stuff he said on Twitter made him go down one tier, and guys, please, don't give this type of people attention on the internet. He should only be known as the disgusting person that did that thing on the pizza, and that should be the end of the story. And now it is cursed in the fandom forever, and Jan, even to this day, still makes reference to it, after almost 4 years ago. I honestly hate this. I don't understand why someone would even do this, and I'm sorry if you can't see pizza the same anymore. So now I have another disgusting individual to talk about, Carpet Sample. This is because from the last video I had him on my thumbnail, but he was not in the video at all, so I will compensate by having him in this episode. So if you think Manedwolfy was disgusting, oh poor you, the roller coaster has only just started. Carpet Samples is also known as ShadowWolfess. Is a self-described by furry artist, quote-unquote fursuiter and plushophile. This is the art he makes. Well, what can I say? This puts Leonardo da Vinci to shame, doesn't it? Look how good it is, guys. He also has many aliases, but I will refer Carpet Sample from his real name, which is Bill. Bill today is a man in his late 60s, and this is something we can confirm from his So Furry account bio he made 16 years ago. You know, it is cool and all that there are even old people appreciate something that's mainly dominated by a younger audience, but yeah, I think we can all agree this is not the type of grandpa we want. Anyway, Bill makes quote-unquote fursuits with plushies he has which he inserted his thing inside and made milk. Yes, he made fursuits from plushies that had his semen on it, and he never washed his fursuits. He went to fur conventions with those suits, and people have said that he had the smell of urine, and oh boy, many people reported their bad experiences with Bill. It has been said he had constantly made inappropriate comments to both furries and non-furries. Bill is also a zoo. This is him saying it by himself shamelessly, and when you're looking at these pictures of the dogs, oh boy, I just can't imagine how bad these dogs have it. It feels quite sad to see these pictures, because knowing what kind of monster is behind it. And it also disturbs me on that on his Facebook he says that he wants to work at an animal shelter, and also say dogs are part of his life. And from this website I take from this stuff he has posted online that just makes me even more disturbed. Well, according to this website it is. Since I won't visit this website myself, it just won't happen. That's because I just don't want to see it and possibly see zoo stuff. That is not something I want to see. Anyway, I assume they are real, and if you actually read this, what is there for me to say? He these dogs, okay? And at worst, he did it on a 1-year-old dog too. And he also proposed to do things with a furry called Moonstone, with her service animal dog inside an elevator with Bill. Imagine being forced to be close to this person, and this person asks you to do things with your dog and has one of the worst smells from a person you can ever imagine. And I will end this with one more last thing to mention. He also tried to exchange alcohol for sex with a minor, and I will stop it there. The more you look into this guy, the worse it gets, and I don't want to talk about him anymore. And it is insane for me because I cannot comprehend how someone can be this deplorable of a human being and being this delusional. I was debating myself putting this on Eternal Darkness or Evil, but I ultimately decided on Eternal Darkness. This is definitely not worse than Lock Your Art. Nothing is worse than ending someone else's life. That is the lowest you can ever do. But this guy is a serial animal and a PDF that has consistently shown inappropriate and disgusting behavior. If we compare this to Jason and Sappho, we don't know how bad the severity is, and even if we would, it would probably not be anywhere near as bad as Carpet Sample. Jason, we don't know how badly he has groomed KB as a minor, but it is still wrong and I think he deserves to be banned everywhere. Sappho did the same thing as Jason and supported Zoo stuff, and we don't know if Sappho actually ever did the deeds with animals. But Bill, on the other hand, he is shameless, has no empathy, lacks guilt, and he openly talks about his disgusting behavior. I have not found a single clue about this guy showing any type of empathy or care to other people or animals. The only thing that matters for him is his perverted fantasy. But for Jason and Sappho, at least I can see that deep inside their soul that he is a good person, even though it might only be small. But that can't be said for Bill. I am not a psychologist or anything, but I think this guy is an actual psychopath or has very serious psychosis or both, because there's overwhelmingly evidence of him repeatedly doing it to his dogs and putting them through this horrible condition and other perverted ideas with no regret. I think because of all of this, I will put him in Eternal Darkness. Bill has not been active since 2009 and there's no information about what happened to him or where he is. But regardless, I hope it stays like that and he never comes back ever again. So now we are done for this episode. Consider subscribing, liking and commenting if you want to. And I also want to say that I will be leaving this series for a while. There are other videos I want to make first that are shorter so I can upload more consistently, that is like 10 minutes long. Just letting you know it will take a while before I come back to this series again. But it is not really reliable right now for me, and especially with my concentration problems. Anyway, I wish you all a good day and thank you for watching.